billions of dollars to mental health and the homeless population. A lot of them don't want to take the programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary. You can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you, or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them. Something. Just kill them.
I cannot believe that we just witnessed Brian Kilmeade call for the execution of American citizens because they are homeless. Because they're homeless or have a mental health issue. Instead of getting help, he says just kill them. Just kill them is his words in front of millions of people. They are pushing for chaos like you've never seen. It's being done through the powers that be, right in front of your face. And all this stuff that's going down around us is manufactured and made to push buttons. Do not fall for it. I'm going to be dropping an upcoming video where this is all going. This says it all. This guy should lose his job, and they should be protested, and so much more. He just called for our American people to be killed. Does anybody care?
Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that is due to Yahweh by
They have given
by Shema Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Real quick, this is by Double 7. It says, just kill them. Fox News anchor Brian Kilmeade openly calls for execution of homeless. And that's a devil for you, okay? A straight up devil, because you got to understand that people fall on hard times because of hardships. When you have a society that's been plagued by inflation, soon to be hyperinflation, and printing mass money without any precious metals to back it, you have a fraudulent banking system, exceptional rents that's skyrocketing out of the roof. I mean, what the hell you expect, man? People are just saying, fuck it. They don't want to deal with it anymore. Certain people, you know, they found the better resolve and saying, you know what, I'd rather just be homeless before I sit up here and be on your grid and be taxed to death anyway, to the point that I'm a derelict. Okay, but they've been calling for execution of the homeless because a couple of years ago, during the time of the pandemic, even prior then, they was talking about rounding homeless people up and putting them inside these detainment centers, because in Cali, the homeless population was just crazy. Okay, they had something which is called Tent City, which stretched up and down the highway or the E-way for like 2 to 3 miles full of tents. And they used to call Los Angeles the city of angels, because that's what Los Angeles means. Okay, city of angels. But now it's a shithole, man. And Trump called himself trying to clean it up and make it great. But hey, this place is through, man. But other than that, calling for people to be killed, homeless people, because I admit you do have homeless people that can cause, you know, that cause issues, that causes problems, strife and contention, you know, the drugs and so forth. And there were programs for them to get off these particular impediments. But at the same time, man, that's like on a case-by-case basis, because not everybody is able to get inside these rehab programs because they're not really predicated to the homeless jakes. You know, prime example, you got fucking homeless veterans out here that fight for your country, living in the streets, asking for change and loose cigarettes, and a lot of them on drugs, you know. It's a damn shame, you know, and you got the audacity to call for the death of people that protected your country and paid taxes and tribute to your kingdom, man. This is why this place is getting ready to fall fast, and it's falling now, okay, because the average person out there, they just through with this shit, man. All right, and you got this Uncle Tom nigga to the left. Of course, you know, he's a token Negro, like Apostle Tahar mentioned. He's a token, all right, a sellout. He's going to say whatever appeases his masters, man. Okay, because this is the type of time Jake be on to appease their slave masters. And they find out when Esau cuts them off at the knees, then they have nothing else to cry about, man. You know, then they want to return back to their people. Nah, you didn't sold your people out. So let's listen to this madness again, man. And we're going to get the law on what to do with the homeless or with the poor and show you that there's a way to handle it. Because for one thing, America have And let me do the math on this, man. Let's do this. Where the hell is it at? Damn, man, I'll be overlooking stuff. Bingo. All right, so how many square miles is America from point A to point Z? Okay. So it says the United States have a total area of approximately 3,796,742 square miles. That's a lot, including both land and water. This accounts for all 50 states, the District of Columbia, territories like Puerto Rico. But if you're looking just for the contiguous U.S., excluding Alaska, Hawaii territories, about 3,119,884 square miles. So that's a lot of goddamn. That's a lot of land, man. Okay, each person on the planet, we did the math on it. Each person on the planet Earth can own approximately 4 acres of land, which that's a lot of land, man. And we may be packed on top of each other, but even then, not necessarily, because 4 acres per land, that's a lot of land, and you still have space, because on the planet there's roughly 7.5, 8 billion people. Okay, now, how much farmland is in America? Because the Midwest itself, from Kansas City to Chicago, I want to say at least 400 miles, because that's a 500 mile. That's 500 miles right there. So at least 350 of that is straight up farm. I'm talking about acres of land. Wow. It says the United States has approximately 876 million acres of farmland. That's a lot of goddamn land, man. Okay, 876 million acres, and yet you got homeless people out here. That's crazy work. It says farmland as of 2024. Department of the latest data from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. It says this represents a slight decline of about 2 million acres from 2023 and roughly 24 million acres from 2017, which stood at about 900 million acres. It says farmland here refers to total land and farms, which includes cropland, pastureland, woodland, and other areas operated as part of agricultural operation, but exclude land held purely for non-agricultural purposes, man. Okay? So that's a lot of land for people to be homeless. But what did this devil do? He displaces people because of his wicked-ass policies, man, and his wicked-ass monetary system. Peep this.
Billions of dollars to mental health and the homeless population. A lot of them don't want to take the programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary. You can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you, or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection, or something. Just kill them. Or something. Just kill them.
I cannot believe that we just witnessed Brian Kilmeade call for the execution of American citizens because they are homeless. Because they're homeless or have a mental health issue. Instead of getting help, he says just kill them. Just kill them is his words in front of millions of people. They are pushing for chaos like you've never seen. It's being done through the powers that be, right in front of your face. And all this stuff that's going down around us is manufactured and made to push buttons. Do not fall for it. I'm going to be dropping an upcoming video on where this is all going. This says it all. This guy should lose his job, and they should be protested, and so much more. He just called for our American people to be killed. Does any...
It's crazy. All right. Esau is the devil. So this is the book of Leviticus 19, and I'm going to start at verses 9. It says, "And when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not wholly reap the corners of thy fields, neither shalt thou gather any gleaning of thy harvest. And thou shalt not glean thy vineyard, neither shalt thou gather every grape of the vineyard. Thou shalt leave them for the poor and stranger, for I am the Lord your power." So there's a way on how you deal with the poor. It's kind of like a welfare system in Israel. We had, those that were well off, you put a portion into the pot, You know, if you had land, then you don't till the edges of the land, and whatever falls off, like if you had a basket or a bucket and you pack it full of apples and grapes, and whatever falls, you leave it there. You know, let the poor get it, because, you know, the poor can eat off the land. Okay, even here in America, poor people got it better off than people in third world countries, because shit, the poor, they survive. They got food, people give them money, they panhandle, all that. But Esau doesn't deal righteous with the poor, and he's the reason why people are poor. Because out of all the wealth that this country has stolen, you mean to tell me you don't have enough to split the spoils with your people? Esau's a damn devil, man. All right. Oppressed poor. Deuteronomy 24:14, it says, "Thou shalt not oppress a hired servant that is poor and needy, whether he be of thy brethren or any stranger that are in the lands of thy gates," man. Okay. Job 20:19, "Because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor, he have violently taken away a house which he builded not." Yeah, he didn't build America. We did it. Okay. Let's go to the book of Proverbs 22:16. It says, "He that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches, and he that giveth to be rich shall surely come into want." This is why we are in what they call a tributary. Okay, because we give it to the rich. We pay taxes every year. You know, we paying sales tax, we pay water tax, this tax, that tax, phone tax, sales tax. You're taxed on your rent, you're taxed on your Social Security, you're taxed on your 401k, you taxed income-wise. It's just one big tax. That's why I say it should surely come to want. This is why you have payday loans all over the place. 22, it says, "Rob not the poor because he is poor, neither oppress the afflicted in the gate." And talking about, and really the poor and afflicted is Jake. But even among your own people, when you oppress them, you know, you're afflicting them, you're oppressing them, you talking about euthanizing them, man. Okay. Proverbs 28:3, it says, "A poor man that oppresseth the poor is like a sweeping rain which leaveth no food," because Esau is really the poor man. So it's the poor that oppresseth the poor. You know? Ecclesiastes 5:8, it says, "If thou seest the oppression of the poor," and we really the oppressed, "and violent perverting of judgment and justice in the province, marvel not at the matter. For he that is higher than the highest regardeth, and there be higher than they." All right. So yeah, man, this dude is literally oppressing the poor, man, because that's what he do. You know, this is what he does. He wants to kill off the poor when you're the reason that you made him derelict, man. You damn devil. Deuteronomy 15, and I'm gonna start at verses 7. It says, "If there be among you a poor man of one of thy brethren within any of thy gates in thy land, which the Lord thy power giveth thee, thou shalt not harden thy heart, nor shut thy hand from thy poor brother." And you got, like I said, you got a lot of Edomite homeless vets out here that Esau just kicked down the road. You know, they die from all types of diseases, and they become alcoholics, and they die in bitterness. But it says, "But thou shalt open thy hand wide unto him, and shall surely lend him sufficient for his need, and that which he wanted." And he would say, "Well, go get a job, go do a payday loan." But then you get a poor person a payday loan because their credit is shot because of whatever reason, and all of a sudden you're charging them 300% interest, which you know they can't pay back. That's not helping them out, man. You know. But it says, "Beware that there be not a thought in thy wicked heart, saying, the 7th year, the year of release." And Esau don't really honors this. Now, in a credit report, you know, the year of jubilees, it'll fall off the credit within so many years, like a bankruptcy. I think bankruptcy may be 10 years. But after 7 years, if you can't pay, you're supposed to let the fucking debt go. Okay? Now, this is not saying that go and get in debt because you know you can't pay it. But no, people generally fall on hard times. We've all been there. You know, I've been there. Brothers been there. Hell, shit, we all been there. And technically, we all still on hard times because none of us wealthy. You know, they say that the average Babylonian is literally like a week paycheck away from being homeless. And we can attest to that. I missed one check, you know, outside of, you know, what we didn't put up. Let's just say if I ain't had shit put up, and I miss one check, I could be up out of here in another month. You know, and Lord forbid you get sick. But it says, for thou shalt surely give him, and thy heart shall not be grieved. Matter of fact, Salakia. It says, the 7th year, the year of release is at hand, and thy eyes be evil against thy poor brother, and thou givest him not, and he cry unto the Lord against thee, and it should be a sin unto thee. So Esau, you got a lot of blood on your hands, man. And thou shalt surely give him, and thy heart should not be grieved when thou givest unto him, because that for this thing the Lord thy power shall bless thee in all thy works, and all that thou puttest thy hand unto do. All right, it says, for the poor shall never cease out of the land, because you're going to always have poor. It says, therefore I command thee, saying, thou shalt open thy hand wide unto thy brother, to thy poor, and to thy needy in thy hand. Okay? And Esau don't do that because ultimately he puts more hell on people than help him. All right? There's a system in this society. You got, this is an oligarchy, man. You got the elites that's in power, and then you got us, the 99% that only own 1% of the wealth, but yet you got the 1% that own 99% of the wealth. Like, what kind of Mickey Mouse madness is that? All right, Sirach 4:1. It says, my son, defraud not the poor of his living, and make not the needy eyes to wait long. Yeah, this man make you wait 2, sometimes 3 weeks for a fucking paycheck, man. Like, nigga, I need my money at the end of the day. What's up? You know, I might have a newborn. I got to get groceries. I got to get, condiments for the baby. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure my wife is properly fed so she can give the baby the adequate nutrition that he needs, But if I got to wait 3 weeks, then, we all in a slumber. It says, make not a hungry soul sorrowful, neither provoke a man in his distress. Add not more trouble to a heart that is vexed, and defer not to give him that is in need. Rejoice not the supplication of the afflicted, neither turn away thy face from the poor man. Turn not away thy eye from the needy, and give him none occasion to curse thee. For if he curse thee in the bitterness of his soul, his prayer should be heard of them that made him. And hey, the poor, they gonna rise up against the rich, because a lot of these homeless bums that you call them, which if you're a bum, then you were put in that position by the Lord because you wasn't right. But bums and poor people and old veterans, they gonna team up, and the scriptures say the hands of the wicked should come up against them. That's the laborers, man. And at some point in time, all these people labored here. Some of them come from good jobs, good backgrounds, but, going to the VA, they got fucked over. You see? Go here, book of, damn, I just lost my thought. Oh, bingo, Proverbs. Proverbs 4 and 14. It says, enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of the evil men. Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. It's crazy, man. It says, for they eat the bread of wickedness, and drink the wine of violence, man. But the path of the just is just as the shining light that shineth more and more into the perfect day. But it says they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence, man. I want to kill the poor, but yeah, you've oppressed people. Okay, the poor ain't fucking with nobody. They ain't coming to the rich neighborhoods. They out your way. All right, but like it says, for they sleep not, except they've done mischief. For their sleep is taken away, unless they cause something to fall. So he can't sleep unless you going off. He can't sleep unless he's causing you to be in a jacked up predicament, man. When he sees you homeless and broken down and sick, he can go home and rest good at night. You know what I'm saying? Which is a total devil. It's usually the opposite. You do a good deed, you take care of your business, and you have a peaceful sleep. But this devil, he doesn't go in peace unless he's literally oppressing or putting somebody in the spirit world, man. This is why you devils, man, you got to go. But anyway, I'm going to end it giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Lord's will you edified. To the next lesson. Shalom.